roller coaster ride continues. I mean, how do you beat the Dodgers 2 of 3? How do you get whacked by the Yankees? How do you turn around and lose to the Rockies and then lose a really ugly game to Miami? Now they go on the road. End of the day, the Padres are still a 500 baseball team at this point, and now they got a problem. Yu Darvish has a hamstring issue. This is the third different injury that he's had before we get to the 1st of June. And, of course, Joe Musgrove's had 2 different types of setbacks here, and now they go on the road. I guess it's hard for me to sit there and fathom how a $160 million payroll can be a nickel and dime offense so many games. They just scuffle. I mean, you're the one. You put it out there in a text to me. How the hell can you have the bases loaded, nobody out, and all the beef from the Padre batting order come in, and all those guys are still on the bases when the third out's recorded, and nobody scored? To me, it's just driving me crazy about what Padre baseball is right now. It looks to me like it's a little bit of a fatigued baseball team. Now they go to Kansas City to meet what I think is going to be the surprise team in baseball. Hell, they're going to face Seth Lugo, the ex-Padre, who's 8-1. Wow. And they're going to face Michael Wacha, and then they get the Angels. It's hard for me to believe that this lineup, that batting order, this payroll, 13-19 at home, 8-12 against bad teams, and 15-17 against anybody that shows up on the schedule with a losing record. I don't know. It's the same player doing the same thing we've seen this year, we saw last year through a couple of disappointing seasons. And John Riley says about the roller coaster ride.
It is a roller coaster ride. I think that's the thing, is that we see this team play so well sometimes, and then other times so terrible. I mean, it's one thing if you've got Chris Denorfia in that lineup, then your expectations are low. But this is a team we thought would be a playoff team, and technically, I guess they would still qualify if the season ended now. What did you take on the whole Mike Shildt post-game presser yesterday when he pushed back on this roller coaster idea?
He always pushes back. Don't you dare question my guys. My guys are committed, blah, 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 blah. Your guys are 1 game over 500. Please, take some responsibility. Feel free to critique and analyze with a critical vein what needs to be said. Instead, he always pushes back. And unfortunately, there's too many, quote, media cheerleaders here. Everything is beautiful. And, the Padre flagship station, we're not even to June 1st. And what's their topic of conversation? Well, we'll look at the wild card race. How can we get into the wild card race? We'll get the last wild card spot. Jeez, oh, Pizzo, quit being a cheerleader. So, we'll see. If this health issue just continues to flare, that's going to be an issue. If it's not 100% Darvish, 100% Musgrove, that to me is going to be a problem. Now, I'm not going to be critical every minute of every day because I think we have to do this. How about AJ? AJ finding Jeremiah Estrada.
Wow, that guy's been
AJ
great.
And what Suarez has evolved into. And then obviously some of the other acquisitions, the quote, free agent street rentals that have panned out so far. And maybe David Peralta can be what David Peralta was just a couple of years ago from the left-handed side, because the Padres are getting some pretty good productivity out of some of the other street free agents that they signed. But it's not a complete team, and I'm really worried about the fatigue factor because Machado and Tatis and Kim and Cronenworth, they're playing a hell of a lot of ball. There's hardly any off days for those guys. And, pal, it's a 162-game schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal out there, but I'll tell you what, it goes back to, remember we talked about Bill Parcells, right? What's he say? You are what your record says you are. And right now they're just meh. They're 500, a game up, a game below 500. They got to put together a winning streak. And once they do, then, they win 7 out of 9 series, but then when you lose 3 in a row of the Rockies, it all kind of flats out. So they've got to get on a 5, 6, 10 game winning streak, and then they're in business.
I concur with you. Padre fan. Fans Forum is open for your opinion. Jump on board right now on our podcast. We get to halftime.